Hi, everyone. Bill Renchler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. It is Wednesday, and that means it's Crime Stoppers Day, and we're happy to have Captain Aaron Pembleton with UNLPD in the streaming studio. I've already been on here a couple times today talking about snow and all
it's
the...
snowing out?
It is. Did you see it? It's extra bright outside, extra bright out of our windows.
It is.
This is what I think February is actually supposed to look like.
Right? Yeah, I've had some days outside recently where you're like in shorts and a T-shirt, and you're
right?
like, is this January or February in Nebraska? And then all of a sudden... Yes, Mother Nature shows up and says hello.
She does.
Yes.
She does. She reminds us that it is, in fact, February. It is, in fact, on average, our snowiest month of the year.
Yeah.
So snow is basically done, but it's going to be cold.
Yeah, my kids are loving it because they want to go out and play in it as fast as they can.
Yeah, my two, they're staying with Grandpa today because they have the snow day, and we got our backpacks ready, and we packed lunches so he would be, prepared. And they're like, we want to bring our snow pants. I was like, okay, we can bring them. You're not going to want to go outside. And he texted me, and he's like, yeah, we put it all on, and they were outside for about 3 minutes.
Yes,
Took them longer to put the snow pants on
Absolutely.
than it did.
They're like, that wind is so cold. You're like, yes, it is.
And so UNL, I think, was even closed today,
Yep,
right?
they did Instructional Continuity Day.
I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, it's 2025, so there's a lot of tech out there, apparently. I'm not good with all of it, but it's out there. So they have a lot of plans in place to be able to do some online stuff and keep continuity so they don't have to necessarily close per se. The only people that are coming onto campus are the essential personnel, but for the most part, the instructional, educational piece can still move forward.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sadly, we're in two lines of work.
Oh, you're still there.
We don't really get snow days, do
right,
we?
yeah. Yeah.
So it has been a couple weeks since we've had you in-house. Campus Ben, again, you guys had winter break. Was everything pretty quiet?
It was good. Winter break's always good. We get a chance to recoup, re-energize, and then the students come back and we go right back into our normal mantra. But it's been good so far. The weather helps. It hasn't been anything super crazy, but we're just gearing up for the spring. What that entails. I'm really excited for some Husker baseball.
Oh.
I'm a big baseball fan, so I'm ready for the Huskers to get out there and start getting at it.
I was talking to Kevin Suits. They had practice outside a couple weeks ago.
Right? Yeah. You hit that white ball out there now, you're gonna be like, where'd it go?
Yeah,
who knows?
You're not going to find it today. Well, that's good. That's good. We just because it was break though doesn't mean things weren't happening on campus.
Yes,
so
there were some things that happened in and around campus. So yes, we're always in the mix.
Always in the mix. And so first crime we want to talk about, again, if you're new, we have two crimes, and we need some clues.
Absolutely. There's some people out there that may know or may have seen or
they know something.
May have heard something after the fact of hey, someone talked about that.
Yeah, someone knows something. So this first guy, walk me through what we're looking at with this vehicle here.
So our officers were on patrol on actually New Year's Day. This car drives by. It doesn't have its headlights on, so our officers trying to do the friendly Nebraska thing and kind of flashes them, and they drive by them, don't turn their headlights on, so the officer turns around on them. It's going to make a stop with it. But then the car takes off on them. Mm-hmm. So they do not pursue them because at that point in time, it doesn't meet our policy to give chase in that fact. But then the car takes off. So it's a Chrysler 200. It didn't have its lights on. The driver was described as a white male in his 20s with dirty blonde hair. And then it took off. So if we were kind of wondering, and it was in the area of 22nd and Y is where this stop was tried to happen. Along with that, the car actually wrecked out by McDonald's at 22nd and W there, or 27th and W there. So we have the car, we just don't know who was in it. So that's kind of what we're here for, of hey, who is driving it. We've talked to the owner of the vehicle. There's some information that they weren't in it, and they don't know who had it at the time, so we're still trying to piece together some information. Yeah, it's intriguing.
There's
crime afoot.
This has turned, because I thought this was a pretty hey, but this has turned into, so
There's
maybe it was stolen.
Could be.
Yep. And the owner didn't know about it.
Yep.
And a simple hey, turn your lights in, turned into a fleeing from the...
Yep, with a stolen car. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
That's interesting. So what?
So again, there were two people that we believe were in the car. One, as you can see in the photo, one appeared to be in the back seat, and then one was in the front seat. So obviously, when you're riding around with your friends, that's not normal.
No.
as you do that too. So
No.
again, Chrysler 200. Again, two people that were in it driving around again on New Year's Day. So if you have any information, maybe it's a friend group of, hey, I heard about that, and you can provide us some information on maybe who was partaking in this, cruise around.
Yeah.
We would like to talk to you.
So do we even know at this point? I mean, I guess we still have obviously pieces left to put together with this puzzle. What citations or
So right now, depending, because again, with the owner of the car, not all the information's clear.
Okay.
So we would right now, what we definitely have is flee to avoid, because
Okay.
they took off from the traffic stop. So, and then I would guess LPD also would want to talk to this people, because there was an accident that they ran away from.
Yeah.
So they would probably have some citations or something that they would want to discuss with the occupants of said vehicle.
Interesting. I'll be really curious, in maybe a couple of weeks' time, following up and see where this one has gone. So, Captain Pembleton, again, if someone does know something, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
There's a couple different ways. You can always call the tip line at 402-475-3600. You can call us directly or text us. You can also go to the Crime Stoppers app at lincolncrimestoppers.com. That's a great way. And also, if you use the app or go that way, that is how you can stay connected with a reward. If it leads to an arrest, that's the way you want to go.
So you are not eligible for a reward unless you go through those two avenues.
Yep.
But, Jared always says a lot of times people just want to call and say or do the right thing.
Right,
They don't
yeah.
even necessarily come pick up the
so
reward.
some people aren't worried about that aspect of it. They just are, they want to try to do the right thing, and so they can call us directly, because that's always the best for us, because if it's anonymous or we don't get the information, sometimes there's pieces missing, and we're like, well, that's good information, but sometimes we already know that. But if we could ask a couple follow-up questions of like, hey, well, how did you know this information, or where'd you find this at, or how it was, then sometimes we can build a little bit clearer picture for us to maybe lead to that arrest.
Yeah, you guys, you guys know what questions to ask, and the general public says, "Hey, I just know this,"
Right? Yeah.
and you're like, "Well, what about this?"
Right? Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, well, if anyone knows anything, hopefully, again, they can get you guys that information, whether it's UNLPD or LPD.
Mm-hmm.
The other case that we have today is one that we talk about a lot.
Yep.
And it's one of your guys' most common issues that you have.
It's the updated version.
It is the update. It's the 2025
It's the
version
2025 version. It's the e-bike theft.
It's not a bike theft. It's an e-bike theft.
Yeah.
So, walk us through this individual that we see here on screen.
Yeah, so this would have been on the 2nd, so the next day after our other crime happened. This individual came onto East Campus. They were kind of wandering through. Don't know if this was their intent, because they actually walked by the bike on camera, and then they come back a little while later, and they take an electronic bike. It is an Allure EUY 750. Folding electric bike. Yeah, that one right there.
That one right
there. So it's
there.
pretty nice. It folds down. It's pretty compact. So, for a lot of our dorm or apartment dwellers, it's easy for them to take up to their apartment if they want to or whatever, so to charge it and that kind of stuff. So it's pretty nice. But yeah, this guy comes onto campus. The bike was locked up, but he was able to defeat that lock relatively quickly. He's wearing dark jeans, like a dark coat. The unique thing, I mean, again, it's after COVID, so people sometimes still wear masks and stuff, but he had a mask on, but he was wearing 2 different colored gloves.
That is interesting. I see that there.
My son likes, but he's also in elementary school, so not a lot of adults are rocking a lime yellow or bright yellow glove with a black glove. So again, sometimes we're creatures of habit, and people just wear the same stuff over again. So this was the unique thing about this character is he did had 2 different gloves on. Came from the area of 33rd and Holdridge, like by the gas stations. Mm-hmm. He wandered from there onto campus, took the bike, and then he left northbound into the the neighborhood
areas,
that neighborhood north of campus. If you live in that area and you've seen somebody like this before with 2 different gloves on that has been riding around, or a new e-bike in that area that you also see somebody on, we might like to talk to them. So it'd be great if you could provide us any information on that.
And I'm not saying he's overdressed, but I did just look up the high temperature on Lincoln on the 2nd was 34.
Oh, right, yeah.
That's not. I mean, Not saying you should
You're
wear a hat and
resourceful.
gloves.
Are you sure you want to be a detective? You can come over?
I'd be a weather detective. I'd help you out. There is a forensic meteorology sort of field out there.
Right, there you go.
I could do that.
Yes, a little bit
crack some
overdressed, but
crimes.
yeah, again, like sometimes we don't get clear pictures of faces and that kind of stuff, which
Mm-hmm.
obviously makes it easier. But again, when we get these unique ones where why do you have two different gloves on? So again,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of just one of those things we like to pull out.
And so again, there's another picture of what that e-bike would have
Mm-hmm.
looked like. Again, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
mean,
is, yeah.
Do you know what that retails for?
I think it was $700.
Okay. So again, this person is out not only the bike, which is probably one of their primary modes of
Yeah,
transportation,
modes of transportation.
but
yeah.
I mean $700 worth of.
Right, if you replace it, you got to come up with that now. So, yeah.
So
And
we
again,
already.
depending on how far if you're a East Campus to City Campus,
Oh yeah.
rider, and it adds a little bit of distance on there. Those e-bikes are nice if you're in a hurry because they go pretty quick, but then
Mhm.
also, in the weather and stuff, it makes it a little easier to ride. So
Yeah, no, 100%. And we mentioned it, but again, here's the best ways. If you know something about this e-bike being taken from UNL's East Campus, again, give UNLPD or LPD, whoever it might be, give them a text, give them a call. We're going to leave a tip online at LincolnCrimeStoppers.com or download that P3 app, and you can kind of have that two-way communication, which is always nice. So. Anything else that we need to talk about? Any big events coming up on campus?
I don't think so. We're all intrigued. I think a lot of people have seen the announcement that the spring game will be a little bit different this year.
Yeah,
So
what will that look like?
we're also intrigued because
Be a little less work for you guys, not having to.
It depends. We're not really sure what all with Troy's announcement of like a fall sports spectacular. Like, what do they bring? I mean, we had a volleyball game there,
Yeah.
and it brought a lot of people. If you missed
I had a
that,
Garth Brooks concert there.
yeah.
I mean,
So Nebraska likes to show up for their sporting events. So
They do.
it's we have some really good fans. So it's always interesting. On people are like, well, it might not be that big. I have a buddy that was in the SEC for a while at Ole Miss,
Mhm.
and he said that their spring game would only get 4,000 or 5,000 people, and I'm like, that's not what we do here. So it's always interesting to see
about 10 times that.
Yeah, to see what it'll be. So we're intrigued. So we've already started some prep for that because we know it'll be a big day for us and what all, because they tend to like lining it up with, oh hey, we're gonna have our, there's gonna be a baseball series along with softball,
Make
and
it
then
all a big day.
Yeah, make it just a big day because the fans will come in from out of town and they can hit multiple things all at once or whatnot. So it's always a big day for us. So we're gearing up to that, and then as soon as you blink, it'll be commencement. So it
That got
gets here
moved
fast.
into PBA.
PBA,
then.
yeah.
Oh,
That's into
okay.
PBA. So there'll be 2 sessions at PBA for us.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Oh, okay.
Concession stuff with the border regions and all that going on at Memorial Stadium. Valentino's and Runza should stay in the stadium, right?
Ooh. You are putting me on the spot. I mean, they are staples, so it's interesting to see like what happens. But there's always change, And
See, the
it's,
Runzas were always nice because they doubled as a hand warmer.
right there, you
Because
go.
those, you get deep into the season, you get the Runza, you just
Hold on to it.
yeah.
There you
And
go.
then
Keep
eventually, once it
warm.
cools down a little bit, then you
Right,
eat it.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I won't make you answer though.
Yeah.
I won't.
Okay. Thanks.
Get it on the record. All right.
Right.
Well, Captain Pembleton, appreciate your time as always.
Yep,
Really
thanks,
appreciate it
Phil.
again, especially with the weather making the trip down here. So
Yep,
thank
no
you for
problem.
your time.
Anytime. And again, if you know anything about those 2 crimes we talked about,
Or anything else.
Yep, give us a call. We're always here.
That's right. We don't have snow days.
Yeah, no snow days for us.
All right. Well, appreciate everyone for tuning in, watching again another edition of Crime Stoppers again in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Keep it tuned to 1011 again, especially with all the weather that we have coming up over the course of the next week. It's going to get cold again.
I know.
I mean,
cold,
it's cold.
and then
It's cold. Still cold
right.
now. But
I
it's
saw
gonna
the
stay
extended forecast, and it looks like we're almost in a pattern of like some snow, no snow, then snow, and some, so we could get some depth.
cold. We could get our PhD. We're going to pilot higher and deeper.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. We'll go ahead and see you next time. Hope everyone stays warm out there.